following is a special presentation of Riverfront Broadcasting Sports.
A slow roller, going to be a tough play. Hunsley, bare hands on the bounce, a throw. He got him. What a play from Grayson Hunsley on the bare hand.
It's time for Post 8 Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Post 8 Baseball is brought to you by Comtech, True Green Camelon, Edward Jones Financial, Overhead Door, Todd's Electric, Shane's Pharmacy, Jaeger, AGE, First Fidelity, and State Farm Becky Potsuba Agency.
This will be flown out by Charlie Simpson out to left field. Going back, it is gone! Charlie Simpson hits a two-run home run, and it's a 3-2 ball game.
Post 8 Baseball is also brought to you by Capital City Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota, Oahe Federal Credit Union, Missouri River Dentistry, Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping, Agtegra, Farting Electric, Envirotech, and Kruger Climate Systems.
Here's a line shot out and towards left center field, diving and making the catch out in center is Sutton Sonnenschein. And a tip of the cap from the head coach.
Post 8 Baseball is also brought to you by Stalkin Peterson LLP, Wagner Auto, the South Dakota Office of Attorney General, Division of Consumer Protection, Gales Gas, First United Methodist Church, Karsten Erickson Roofing and Construction, Beck Motors, and May Adam.
Gets with a fly ball to left field. That one is going back to the wall. It's out of here. A 3-run homer for Dawson Getz. And it's a 4-0 lead for the Eights.
And by American Family Insurance Brittany Schaffelbein Agency, Lamb Motors, Bank West, CHS River Plains, Faith Lutheran Church, Graham Tire, Kathy Sonnenschein Properties, Venture Communications, and the American of Fort Pierre. And now, Post 8 Baseball on KCCR.
And we welcome you to Harrisburg as we get sent for a hot doubleheader as the Post 8 takes on Post 45 in a big South Dakota game. The Eights are 1-1 so far this week. It was splitting the doubleheader against the Renner Royals. Harrisburg 4-0 on the week right now with 2 wins against West and another sweep against Aberdeen as they hit the ball really well over this week. And going into now this Sunday afternoon, the wind is blowing out here at Harrisburg. It is short porches on left and right, 310 only. The ball can be flying out of here if things get in the jet stream as Post 8 and Harrisburg looking for 2 big wins here this Sunday afternoon. John Wickler with you as we are getting set, and it will be pitching matchups that will be crucial to keep the ball low in the zone and not keep everything elevated. If everything's elevated, already is that case when you come to Harrisburg. You leave things elevated, you're going to pay for it, and especially on a day like today where the wind is blowing out, you're going to pay for it even more. So keeping low in the zone, and of course sometimes that also helps if the home plate umpire gives that low strike to stay low in the zone. And if you can do that, things can be a lot more successful for you. But for the Eights who have just 1 home run of the season, well, they're facing a team that's got 15 home runs on the year. We might see that total. I would say we're going to see the total go up. We could see it for both teams, but I'm certain that we're going to see at least 1 to 2 home runs before the end of the afternoon with the way the wind is blowing here at Harrisburg, as this is a team that likes to hit for extra bases, likes to hit home runs. And for Harrisburg and for the Eights, if they can continue to hit they have a lot of triples so far in the season for Post 8. They've got 13 in 15 games so far. If they can match that again or continue that being able to hit the ball in the gaps, well, if you hit the ball high enough, that gap shot will get out for a home run. Could be a fun matchup between these two teams as they're about to exchange lineup cards. We're getting it set for our first pitch between Pierre and Harrisburg. We'll come back in 3 minutes and get you the starting lineups. You're listening to Post 8 Baseball on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Want technology solutions you can trust from a neighbor you know? Comtech, locally owned and serving Pierre and surrounding area since 2009, is dedicated to keeping your home, farm, and business connected and secure. We offer a full range of services, from audio and video, security, surveillance, and networking with expert installation and support. Visit our storefront, call us at 605-224-4066, or visit our website, comtechplus.com, to experience the Comtech difference. Comtech, your local technology experts.
Hey, yo, Speedo's Lawn Care.
Hello. Say, my yard's in rough shape. It's got weeds, brown spots, and crabgrass.
Yeah, no problemo. What shade of green you need? We got 31 shades of green over here. Even the latest shade of septic tank grass green. That one just naturally gives off a glow.
Call the professionals at True Green. They know how to get your lawn healthy and keep it healthy. They guarantee it. All technicians are trained and certified.
Call True Green, 224-1916.
When you're looking for quality trash pickup services, look no further than Envirotech. 6 days a week, their trucks are on the road picking up trash, even holidays. They're also the place to contact for recycling services. Their friendly, professional staff is ready to assist with weekly pickups or even special pickups. Check out the website at EnvirotechWaste.com. Envirotech is locally operated. Call 224-4804. Envirotech Waste Services in Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
When life throws you a curveball, May Adam Law Firm in Pierre is here to help you knock it out of the park. For over 130 years, we've been providing trusted legal expertise in business, family law, criminal defense, and more. Proud sponsors of this season's baseball action, we're committed to serving our community both on and off the field. Need legal advice? Step up to the plate with May Adam Law Firm. Visit mayadam.net or call today. May Adam, South Dakota's law firm since 1881.
With any dream, the wind won't always be at your back, the sun won't always be shining, and some rain is going to fall. American Family Insurance is like a good, solid roof that you can trust to protect your biggest dreams. With plans that could save you up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto. Also, you can continue to dream fearlessly, no matter what comes your way. American Family Insurance.
Visit mfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company assigned its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Contact the Brittany Shufflebind Agency, LLC, 224-6627.
Looking for your next new or used car, truck, or SUV? Then go no further than the comfort of your own home. Shop online at lambmotor.com. On lambmotor.com, you'll find the vehicles Lambs has in stock. You can schedule a test drive or your vehicle's next tune-up, all online. New or used, shop for it all online, anywhere you are. Lamb Motor has the right vehicle for you. Lamb Motor in Oneida and online, lambmotor.com.
As we welcome you back, we are getting set here for first pitch. We've got the starting lineups for you. First for post 8, the visitors. Carter Shuffleby in the second base will lead things off. Sutton Sunshine, the catcher, will bat second. Dawson Guest, the shortstop, batting third. Charlie Simpson, the right fielder, will bat fourth. Cooper Twilger, the DH, batting fifth. Porter Hunsley, the center fielder, batting seventh. Make that sixth. J.J. Buckles, the left fielder, will bat eighth. Grayson Hunsley, the third baseman, will bat eighth, and Trevor Rounds, the left fielder, will bat ninth. I believe that's Buckles, the first baseman, batting seventh. But Will Danberg is on the mound for Pierre Post 8. For Harrisburg, Post 45, Eli Kokenge will lead things off. He's the shortstop. Noah Boucher, the first baseman, will bat second. Bryson Esser, the left fielder, will bat third. Griffin Schlapkohl, the DH, will bat fourth. Tate Muntz, the right fielder, will bat fifth. Kason Severson, the center fielder, batting sixth. Michael Oakland, the catcher, batting seventh. Cade Weedy, the third baseman, batting eighth. And Rylan Bowe, the second baseman, will bat ninth. Ethan Beek will be the starter for the Harrisburg Post 45 team. We'll take one more break. When we come back, we've got first pitch for you. You're listening to Post 8 Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Ready to upgrade your ride this summer? At Beck Motor Company in Pierre, lease a brand new 2025 Cadillac XT5 for as low as $499 a month with only $34.99 due at signing. Or lease a stylish 2025 Chevy Trailblazer LS for as little as $299 a month with only $38.99 due at signing. Hurry, these offers won't last. Visit Beck Motor Company on the Truck Bypass today or shop online at beckmotors.com. Plus tax, title, license, WAC. See dealer for details.
Stolken Peterson LLP has been your local CPA firm for over 40 years, offering tax preparation, bookkeeping, payroll, and consulting services. If your business, farm, or ranch needs professional, accurate, and reliable services, we are your firm. Our clients are our #1 priority. If you need a higher level of accounting service, give us a call at 605-224-5828. That's Stolken Peterson LLP, 222 East Missouri Avenue in Pierre.
Building a home. It's the biggest investment most of us make in a lifetime. Not to mention, it's a decision that, well, you pretty much live with day and night. The quality of the workmanship stares back at you like a reflection. It also affects the value of your investment. Choosing the right contractor is critical. Kruger Contracting is that contractor. Call 222-2523. Quality workmanship and materials completed on time. Kruger Contracting. In a word, quality. Call 222-2523.
Becky Potsaba and State Farm Insurance are here to help you with your insurance and banking needs. State Farm's not just insurance. It's banking, investments, IRAs, loans, and a whole lot more. We offer guidance in a personal and caring way that helps you manage the risks of everyday life, recover from the unexpected, and find ways to control costs so you can realize your dreams. We know how life is, and we're here for you. Stop in to see Becky at 1315 East Wells Avenue in Pierre, or call Becky at 224-4173.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for it all. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great, and we're here for it. See you at the game. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
As we welcome you back, we are ready to go for first pitch between Post 8 and Harrisburg. As that starting lineup again, Carter Shuffleby leading things off, the second baseman, followed by Sutton Sunshine, the catcher, Dawson Getz, the shortstop, Charlie Simpson, the right fielder, Cooper Twilliger, the DH, Porter Hunsley, the center fielder. Also, we have J.J. Buckles, the first baseman, Grayson Hunsley, the third baseman, and Trevor Rounds, the left fielder. We're ready to go on this Sunday afternoon. It is a hot one. You're listening to KCCR Pierre, a Riverfront broadcasting station. Ethan Beek is ready to throw. You can hear that wind already howling. It is blowing straight out, but the first pitch will be grounded over to the right side past a diving first baseman Boucher and into right field for a leadoff single. And the Eights are already with a base runner on as it brings up Sutton Sunshine. First pitch at 12:59. Wasting no time with Shuffleby to get that first hit of the ball game. It is 90 degrees right now, feeling like 92. The wind is blowing straight north at 24 miles an hour, gusting at 36. And that is blowing out towards left center field as the first pitch will be missing for ball one to Sutton Sunshine. Ethan Beek on the season, 16 2/3 innings. All three of his games have been starts. He is 1-0 so far with 8 hits, 8 runs. Only 2 of those have been earned. Runner takes off for second to throw to second. The tag on top of the helmet of Shuffleby, and he slides in safely as it counts 2-0 to Sunshine. And a stolen base now for Shuffleby. And for Shuffleby, that was his 7th of the season. And he's already in score position here with nobody out in the top of the first inning. I want to be lined over right to the first baseman, Boucher. He'll make the catch for the first out, and no chance for Shuffleby. He has to scamper back to second, and there's now one down. Finishing the stats for Ethan Beek, 8 runs, 2 of them earned in 16 2/3 innings. He's giving up a total of 12 walks with 22 strikeouts, an ERA at 0.84 and a whip at 1.2, batting average against at 133. So it was good for Shuffleby to jump on that first pitch fastball early, as this one's fouled back by Dawson Getz for strike one. Post 8 hitting .307 as a team coming into this doubleheader. Dawson Getz hitting .405 on the season with 2 triples, a double, and 11 runs driven in as the number 3 man for this team. That'll be catching the outside corner for a strike that counts 0-2. I think it's going to be just a little bit hard to hear the play happening out on the field, the way the wind is howling here in Harrisburg. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Beek to Getz. Ground ball to the right side. That'll move Shufflebine over. Tough play for the second baseman, Bo. He will fire to first to get the second out. Shufflebine moves up 90 feet to third, and there's now 2 down for Charlie Simpson to try and drive in the game's first run. This Harrisburg team with 4 big wins this week against South Dakota opponents. This one's upstairs for ball 1. Trying to climb the standings. We'll talk about that as we go along. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Charlie Simpson. Here's a ground ball to the left side. Nice hop to Eli Kokenge, the shortstop. Throw to first will be in time and retire the side. Here at the top of the first. After the leadoff hit, but no runs, no errors, and a man left on base. We head to the bottom of the first. No score between Pierre and Harrisburg. You're listening to Post-State Baseball on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Swing for the fences with a great deal from Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre. Whether you need a powerful truck, a fuel-efficient sedan, or a spacious SUV, they've got the perfect lineup to keep you on the road and in the game. Don't strike out. Stop by today or visit CapitalCityFordToyota.com. Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota, where the best deals in town are always in play.
For over 60 years, Ferding Electric has been powering homes and businesses across central South Dakota. When you need reliable electrical service, trust the experts with decades of experience. Whether it's a simple residential repair, a complex commercial installation, or even electrical work on your farm, Ferding Electric has you covered. And if you're tired of searching everywhere for that hard-to-find bulb, Ferding Electric carries a wide selection of bulbs, including those hard-to-find fluorescent and specialty options. Visit us at 2903 East Elizabeth Street or call today, 605-224-8684.
We welcome you back as we are into the bottom of the first. No score on American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard. Eli Kokenge, the shortstop, leading things off, followed by Noah Boucher, the first baseman. Bryson Esser, the left fielder. Griffin Schlapkohl, the DH, batting fourth. Tate Muntz, the right fielder, batting fifth. Kason Severson, the center fielder, batting sixth. Mike Oakland, the catcher, batting seventh. Cade Weedy, the third baseman, batting eighth. And Ryland Bowe, the second baseman, rounding out the batting order as they go against Will Danberg, who will be making his 5th start of the season. He's 2-0 so far, 23 in a third innings, which is the most on the team. Pitching-wise, he's given up 23 hits, 12 runs, only 7 of them earned, 4 walks, 12 strikeouts. An ERA at 2.1, a whip at 1.16, and a batting average against at 245 as he delivers the first pitch here to Kokenge outside for ball 1. This is a strong hitting team, 15 home runs in the season. Kokenge, as he comes in, as he is, let's see here, trying to find the right stats for Kokenge. I might have missed him when I was getting his stats printed out. But he's had himself a pretty good last week as he's hit 3 home runs this week alone for Eli Kokenge. The 2-0 pitch, that'll miss high and inside, and the count's quickly 3-0. He's hitting .636 this week, 7 of 11 with 3 doubles, a triple, and 3 home runs. No singles for him in his 7 hits. 3-0 is on the outside corner for a strike. The count's now 3-1. Driven in a total of 6 runs. They beat West 3-2 and 11-1. Then beat Aberdeen 16-3 and 15-5. 3-1 pitch. This is flown out towards center field. Porter Hunsley going back. He's looking out to the wall, and that's going to get out for a leadoff home run. A solo shot for Eli Kokenge on a 3-1 pitch, and Harrisburg opens up with a 1-0 lead.
Number 16,
Fourth home run in his last, now 5 games for Kokenge. And here's Noah Boucher, who has also been tearing the cover off the ball lately with 3 home runs this week as well. He's hitting .417 in his 5 hits. A double, a triple, and 3 home runs. So, again, he's not hitting any singles either. He's hitting it all around the park. First pitch is over for strike 1. Boucher's hitting .347 on the season. 4 doubles, 2 triples, 5 home runs in total, 15 RBIs. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That'll bounce in. And the count's now 1-1. Already early trouble here for the Eights, down 1-0. 1-1 pitch, that'll hit him. So Boucher is on, and the first two have reached base to start the bottom of the first inning, and it brings up Bryson Esser. Esser's hitting .415 so far in the year with 4 doubles. He's got 2 home runs, 14 runs driven in. Team batting average at .265 for Harrisburg. Again, 29 doubles, 9 triples, and 15 home runs, and their 116 hits. First pitch to the number 3 man will bounce in for ball 1. 310 in left and in right, 380 out in straightaway center. That ball was just to the right of that 380 sign from Kokench, who had the leadoff home run in the bottom of the first as we play here with nobody out in the first inning. That pitch will miss outside, and the count's 2-0. Leading away from first is Boucher, who is hit by a pitch. Esser's got a 2-0 count in his advantage. Danberg delivers from the stretch. That again stays upstairs, and the count's 3-0. And Danberg will have to really settle in here, in danger of walking the next guy and having the first 3 reach base here in the bottom of the first inning. 3-0 pitch. That one will miss for ball 4. That one missed just a bit outside. And it will be first and second with nobody out, and Coach Iverson is already making his way out of the mound to have a conversation with Sonnenschein, Danberg, and himself, as it will bring up Griffin Schlapkohl. The leadoff solo shot by Kokench, and Coach Iverson, and it was pretty apparent just walking into the ballpark that once you figured out which way the wind was blowing, that we were going to have a chance for home run or home runs. And it didn't take long having that first one hit for Harrisburg. That was their 16th home run of the season as a squad. And for Danberg, the first 3 guys got to put that behind you. Obviously, you still got to work and try and get out of this inning with limited damage, but have to reset. Get a ground ball somewhere, try and turn 2. They don't hit the ball on the ground very much. You gotta keep it low in the zone. First pitch from Danberg. That'll miss outside for ball 1. No Ridge Lineback and no J.J. Buckles today for Post 8. They will be unable to pitch. Here's the 1-0. That one's over for a strike, and the count's 1-1. The Yates got the leadoff man on in the top of the first with the leadoff single by Schuffelbein. He got over to third, but was unable to be scored after a line out and 2 ground outs. Here's the 1-1. That'll miss low and away, and the count's 2-1. Post 8 had gotten over 500 to go to 8-7 of the season when they got the doubleheader sweep against Spearfish, and then they split with Dickinson, then split with Renner. Here's a 2-1 pitch. This will be fouled, the back and out of play, and the count's 2-2. It started out 0-3 and then got themselves to 7-6, winning 7 of 10. And as they continue to play on the road quite a bit after the home games against Sturgis were canceled, trying to stay at 500 on the road. You'd like to see a doubleheader sweep here today, but not off to the best start in this first game. Here's a pitch in the turf. The throw to third. They're going to tag out the runner trying to take third on a pitch that was blocked by Sonnenschein. Through to Hunsley, and there's an easy tag by Grayson Hunsley to get the first out as the count's now 3-2. As Beauchene's thrown out trying to take third base, makes the first out at third. There's one away. Post State wants to use that as a gift and find a way out of this inning with only that 1 run against. 3-2. This will be fouled out of play. On deck is Tate Muntz, the right fielder. In here with 1 out. Runner on at second. 3-2 pitch here in the bottom of the first. The DH Schlapkohl. That'll be behind him and taken for ball 4. So home run, a hit by pitch, and 2 walks. And now it's Tate Muntz, the right fielder. However, there still is 1 away and a chance to maybe try and induce a ground ball, get a double play to get out of the inning. Muntz hitting .244 on the season. 2 doubles and a triple, 7 runs driven in. He's just 10 of 41. 53 plate appearances. This will get to the backstop on a wild pitch. They'll make it second and third with 1 away.
Wild pitch. Both runners advance. 1 base.
Again, you get the way the wind is and high winds, it does affect a little bit of your release point, the way the ball breaks on you. Now more blowing right at you, maybe loses the velocity a little bit. There's a swing and a miss, and the count's 1-1. But Danberg's going to try and find a way to work through it. Infield stays back. The corners are even at the bags. The middle is mostly back. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Line shot, that's a base hit, and that'll score 1 run. Second run will be rounding as Rounds will field it in left field. It'll be a 2-run single to make it a 3-0 lead here for Harrisburg in the bottom of the first inning. A 2-run single for Tate Muntz. And for Muntz, now RBIs 8 and 9. And Kason Severson to the plate. Severson 148 so far, just 4 of 27, but does have a double and 2 triples in his 4 hits. First pitch will be on the outside edge for a strike. Severson didn't necessarily agree with it. A little bit pretty far outside, but gives Danberg a chance to work ahead in the count. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Runner takes off. The throw to second on a ball. That will be sliding in, and sliding in safely at second is Muntz. So the count's now 1-1. Here to Severson, an opportunity for them to put up a 4 spot with a base hit. Here's the 1-1. This will be floating out on the right side of the infield. Buckles will come over to make the catch, and there's now 2 down. And everybody's going to be a little bit careful because Danberg was thinking that was the 3rd out. It's only just the 2nd. And now it's Michael Oakland to the plate. Thankfully, the ball in the glove of Buckles, he held on to it. I think it was just Danberg, the only one that was thinking it was the 3rd out. So now here's Oakland, a chance to make it a 4-0 game with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. First pitch will bounce in for ball 1. Oakland's hitting .243. He's 9 of 37 so far on the summer. 3 doubles, 2 triples, and 3 home runs, 13 runs driven in. .1-0 pitch. That'll be fouled out of play. And this team, with 63 singles, but then you have 29 doubles, 9 triples, and 15 home runs. Just about 50-50 in the splits of extra base hits and just single base hits. 1-1 pitch. That'll find the edge on the outside part of the strike zone. The count's 1-2. A lot of ball game left for Post State. Regardless if they're down 3-0, 4-0, whatever it is at the end of this first inning. A lot of baseball left in game 1. Don't have to get it all back in 1 inning. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That'll miss low and away, and the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Seventh man to come to the plate. Runner on at second. 2 away here in the bottom of the first. Here's the 2-2. That one will bounce away from Sun and Shine. He will not throw to third. And so now a runner on at third.
Wild pitch, that's run to third base.
With 2 outs and a full count. Danberg will go back to the windup here with a full count to Oakland. The 3-2 pitch. That'll miss for ball 4. That will get to the backstop, and Sun and Shine will not throw, is sliding in safely to make it a 4-0 ball game. On the 3rd walk issued in the inning from Danberg.
Now brings it to plate. Number Number 17, Cade Weedy.
And it's Cade Weedy, the third baseman, to the plate. We do have Ty Raymond courtesy running for Oakland.
Number 1, Ty Raymond.
So Weedy now to the plate with the third base with a runner on at first and 2 away. Only one man has officially gone 0 for 1 so far in this first inning with 2 away. First pitch is over for strike 1 in the knees. Weedy's hitting 115. He does have a double with 5 runs driven in his 3 hits so far in the season. They are susceptible to strikeout, 130 strikeouts to 85 walks. But so far, Danberg hasn't been able to find. Okay, here's a runner taking off for a second. The throw to second. They're going to tag him out, and that will retire the side. It was a strike. Doesn't matter, as Sun and Shine will throw out 2 runners trying to steal in this first inning.
4 runs on.
And they get 4 runs on just 2 hits in the inning. There were no errors and no one left on base. We have played 1 complete here in Harrisburg in a 4-0 lead for Post 45 over Pierre. Back in a minute here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Venture Communications has deep roots in rural South Dakota. Venture now proudly provides fiber to the home with 100% of our customers, enabling them to enjoy super fast and reliable internet connections. We'd like the opportunity to keep you in touch with the people and resources that matter most. 100% fiber and 100% committed to rural South Dakota. Call Venture Communications today at 605-852-2224, 605-852-2224, or online at venturecom.net.
At Shane's Pharmacy, your health care is important, and Shane wants to be the pharmacist to take care of you. Shane's Pharmacy will make sure your prescriptions are filled in a timely manner, they will answer your questions, and they will even deliver to your home or office. Call 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy, the pharmacy you know and trust. The number again is 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy in Fort Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
It is the top of the second inning and a 4-0 lead on the American Family Insurance Printing Shuffle by and scoreboard. Cooper Twilliger, Porter Hunsley, and J.J. Buckles, 5, 6, and 7 here for the Eights, as they will have to work from behind, down 4-0 on just 2 hits allowed in that first inning, one being the leadoff home run, as the first pitch to Twilliger is over for strike 1. The Eights led off the first with a single, but then a line out and 2 ground outs. Stranded Shufflebein over at third base, as Twilliger will foul the 0-1 pitch back to make it 0-2. Twilliger is hitting .371 with 3 doubles and a triple, 6 runs driven in. Again, this Pierre team's got 13 triples in 15 games. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Be outside, and the count's 1-2. They've got speed. They can find the gap, but again, you get the ball in the air. A day like today, it can travel a long way. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That'll miss low and away, and the count's 2-2. Ethan Beek, after again surrendering that leadoff single, last 3 retired. He's got a big cushion right now in the top of the second inning. His line back to the screen. The count remains at 2-2 here to Terwilliger. Beek from the windup delivers a 2-2 pitch on the hands and fouled away by Terwilliger. Count remaining at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Danberg, who labored in that first inning in a doubleheader, first game of a doubleheader, as that one will miss outside, the count's 3-2. Coach Iverson, and how Danberg pitched throughout the spring and how he started out in the summer, he's earned the right to try and work through this and maybe settle into the ball game. But also with the fact that it's a hot day and you get a doubleheader, this will be grounded foul. Remaining at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Being able to extend your outing out even if you don't have your best stuff. If you can go four innings in game number 1 and remain just allowing just those 4 runs, maybe 5 runs in total, he helped the team out the rest of this doubleheader and allow those guys in the second game to be able to make sure you get through it after playing those two games on Thursday. 3-2 pitch. Twilliger, the ground ball, third base side, backhanded by Weedy. The throw to first is going to be offline, and it will be a leadoff error, and then Twilliger will start to go to second, but then he slipped and fell, and so he will stay over at first base. I think he seems to be okay, but a leadoff error by the third baseman, Weedy. Gets the Eights a base runner here in the top of the second. And it brings up Porter Hunsley, the center fielder.
Porter Hunsley.
So the center fielder, Hunsley, to the plate. First pitch will miss outside for ball one. Hunsley's hitting .258 so far. The rising sophomore's got a double and 2 runs driven in. He's probably an arm that's going to be used at some point in this doubleheader, whether that would be a starter in Game 2, whether he's the reliever here in Game 1 or in Game 2. That pitch will miss inside, and the count's 2-0. See if the Eights can get one of these runs back here in the top of the second. 2-0 pitch to Hunsley. That'll be over for strike one. The count's 2-1. Hunsley's been the primary center fielder for this Eights team. Going to be just a sophomore coming up this fall. The pickoff attempt, and back in safely diving in was Terwilliger. Here's the 2-1. That will miss upstairs. 3-1 the count. On deck, J.J. Buckholz. He'll be followed by then Grayson Hunsley. Trevor Rounds will be the 9th man in the batting order. Three-one pitch here to Porter Hunsley from Ethan Beek. That one's at the letters for a strike, and the count is full at 3-2. Don't expect Twilliger to take off with a pitch. But we'll see if he gets the green light. Does not take off, and it'll be ball 4, and it's first and second with nobody out here in the top of the second. And the Eights find themselves in business here.
23.
And now J.J. Buckholz. Hitting .286 now in the season. He got 4 runs driven in with a double. Hitting the ball a lot better for Post State as of late. He's got a chance with a runner in score position here with nobody out in the top of the second to try and inch back in this game, down 4-0 right now. But he is showing bunts. He will bunt it foul back to the screen. Post State at times have bunted the ball much better than other times. We've seen them really struggle to put a bunt down and play that small ball fundamental baseball. He's going to show bunt again, and this will be behind and over the top of Buckholz, and the count's 1-1. First baseman in Boucher was moving in. If you get bunted down the third base line, that's the best spot for Buckholz right now. The third baseman staying home with runners at first and second. You want to bunt it back to the pitcher, but if you bunt it down the third base line, this will be popped foul. That'll get out of play over the top of the screen. The count's now 1-2. And that puts the bunt off, and Buckholz has got to protect down 1-2 in the count. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Buckholz check swing, one hopper, the throw to second for the first baseman. Back to first, it'll be a 3-6-3 double play. And there's now 2 down here in the top of the second inning. And a big twin killing against Post State.
Brings up number 14, Grayson Hunsley.
Kokenge fired a strike back to Boucher, who threw the initial ball to second and was able to step his way back to first to get Porter Hunsley and then Buckholz. And there's now 2 down, and Grayson Hunsley needing to find a way to bring the first man in for Post State. First pitch misses for ball 1, blown away to Hunsley. 1-0 pitch. That will be on the outside corner for a strike. 225 with 9 singles for Grayson Hunsley, 4 runs driven in. One of the 3 super seniors, but one of the 2 that are playing the field. Braden Hulett, the other super senior, just a pitcher only, as it counts 2-1 here to Ethan Beek, from Ethan Beek to Grayson Hunsley. Trevor Rounds, number 9 man, is waiting on deck. 2-1 pitch. That'll catch the outside corner, and the count's now 2-2. There's a ground ball to the left side. This will be fielded by the third baseman, Weedy. His throw to first will be in time. The leadoff error from Weedy does not come back to haunt Harrisburg. No runs, no hits, no errors. Make that 1 error, and 1 man left on base. We head to the bottom of the second. 4-0 lead for Harrisburg over Pierre. Back in a minute here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Yag Air Incorporated is your locally owned ag, chemical, and seed retailer. Yag Air Incorporated offers reliable ground and aerial application. For the latest seed and chemical pricing, contact Kyle at 605-280-8710 or Tony at 605-280-4771. Yag Air for all your ag, chemical, and seed needs. Kyle, 605-280-8710 or Tony, 605-280-4771.
You just got a quote from a company and are now being billed for not choosing them. Many contracts have what's referred to as a contingency agreement. These typically state that if you don't go with them, you, after insurance has approved the repair work, will be charged a percentage of the job they quoted. Ask up front if they charge to provide an estimate. Never sign anything that you haven't fully read or understand. If you have any questions, reach out to the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division at 800-300-1986.
We welcome you back. It is a 4-0 lead in the bottom of the second on American Family Insurance Brittany Shuffleby and scoreboard. It'll be 8-9-1. Cade Weedy will come back to the plate. Rylan Bowe and then Eli Koken should be the first 3 hitters. Weedy saw Danberg for a couple pitches, but it was Ty Raymond running in the spot of Mike Oakland that was thrown out trying to steal second to end the inning. So Weedy to the plate. And the first pitch here in the bottom of the second will miss Lone away for ball 1. So Danberg in that first inning, well, he got a little bit of help with a pitch that was in the turf at home plate and throwing a man out at third. Then getting another man trying to steal with Sunshine. The count's 2-0. He only retired Kaysen Severson. That was the only man that came to the plate and was out by the time that he left the plate. Here's a 2-0 pitch. That one's over for a strike, and the count's now 2-1. He gave him the leadoff home run, had a hit by pitch. He had 3 walks in the inning and a single that drove in 2 runs. That made it 3-0 at the time. Here's a 2-1. This is a high chopper up the middle. Shufflebine can't field it off the second base bag. Rouse will have to come flying in, and it'll just be a leadoff single. That's a tough play for Shufflebine to make over at second, and even if he does, I'm not sure he's going to be able to throw out Weedy after that high bounce. So that'll be a leadoff infield single. And it's now Rylan Bowe, the second baseman. And Shufflebine it looked like he was trying to really field that quickly and fire to first, because as high of a bounce as that was, not a whole lot of chance for that. Here's the one popped up, and it's going to go too far away from Sunshine to go chase after. And the count's 0-1. A little bit higher up, or just not enough distance behind it. Sunshine could have gone and made the catch behind home plate, but unable to, as it counts 0-1 here to Rylan Bowe. It's in 2:31 on the season. Pickoff attempt. They got him picked off, but the tag just not applied in time. Weedy was leaning towards second, but the throw and the catch to the tag just split second behind. Otherwise, Weedy was out at first. Another pickoff attempt, diving back in, again safely at first is Weedy. And when you know that Bowe was going to be bunting the ball, assuming that he would still be bunting the ball, you try and get yourself a little bit of an extra lead, because you know that ball's going to most likely be put into play. Because I want to be pulling back and taking for ball one. The count's 1-1. It was the St. Louis Cardinals probably twice in the last 3 or 4 games for them. A failed bunt attempt. Bo didn't, obviously, he's not bunting this time, and that will be taken low, and the count's 2-1. He bunted foul, but it was 2 strike attempts with the bunt, and the Cardinals got picked off at third and second. Because you just expect if the bat doesn't get pulled back, or even if it does get pulled back, you're expecting the bunt to be laid down. That one's on the catch in the outside corner, the top of the zone. That counts 2-2. In that case, Weedy was almost leaning towards second, expecting that pitch to go and him to get a little bit better of a jump on a bunt. Now here's a 2-2 pitch to Bo. Upstairs, full count, 3-2. Kokenge, who led off the bottom of the first with the home run, is waiting on deck. And Danberg is struggling pitch count-wise here with nobody out the bottom of the second. There's the first out as Bo tossed his bat thinking it was ball 4. The home plate umpire calls it strike 3, and there's the first strikeout of the ball game for Will Danberg in the first out here in the bottom of the second. Now it's Eli Kokenge. 42 pitches for Danberg with just 1 out in the bottom of the second. That doesn't allow you to throw deep into a ball game. First pitch to Kokenge. That'll miss low for ball 1. And it basically straightaway center field for his home run. His 4th since this past Tuesday. That pitch will be upstairs, and the count's now 2-0. And for Kokenge, he's got 5 home runs, 15 runs driven in. Coming in hitting .353 for Harrisburg. 2-0 pitch. That'll miss low, and the count's 3-0. These first 2 guys in the batting order are very dangerous for Harrisburg, especially on a day like today at their home ballpark. Here's a 3-0 pitch. It'll be ball 4, and Kokenge will draw the walk. It's now first and second. 4th walk issued by Danberg, and it brings up Boucher.
First baseman, Boucher.
No Boucher hit by a pitch in his first at bats, first plate appearance. As we'll have a mound visit here from Sun and Shine, talking it over with Will Danberg. And a big spot here for this Harrisburg team, already up 4-0, and guy at the plate that can hit the ball all over the yard. The first pitch will miss low and away for ball 1. They feel like an extra base hit, and they feel like right now that they're looking to put this game away early on, even though we're just in the bottom of the second inning. Here's the 1-0. That one just misses a little bit low and away. Might have been just a little bit outside. And the count's now 2-0 here to Boucher. Weedy on at second, Kokenge at first. 1 out here in the bottom of the second, that's outside, and the count's 3-0. 4 walks issued so far by Danberg. He's in danger of walking a 5th and loading the bases for Bryson Esser. The 3-0 pitch will miss for ball 4, and it is now the bases loaded here with 1 away. And it will bring up Esser. Another mound visit here by Coach Iverson. I'm not so sure if that'll end the day for Will Danberg or not, who's just struggled to find the strike zone. The entire infield will come in here. It looks like Iverson will take the ball from Danberg, so that will end his day with one out here in the bottom of the second. And we'll tell you what the changes are here in just a moment, who will be on the mound, where they will go, if there's any other changes to the fielding aspect. Back in a minute, you're listening to Post 8 Baseball on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Summer is here, and Beck Motor Company is stepping up to the plate. As a proud supporter of Legion Baseball, we're hitting it out of the park with unbeatable deals on the Chevy and Cadillac vehicles. Whether you're looking for the power of a Chevy Silverado or the luxury of a Cadillac Escalade, Beck Motor Company has the perfect ride for you. So swing by today. Take your game and your drive to the next level. Beck Motor Company, your local Chevy and Cadillac dealer. Proud to support our youth and ready to put you behind the wheel of your dream vehicle. www.beck-motors.com. 605-224-5912.
Walking together in faith, living together in faith, working together in faith, that's who we are.
Hi, this is Pastor Sam Hanschke. I hope that our athletes have an excellent and successful season. I pray that God would continue to richly bless them. I invite you to join me in praying for our athletes during the year.
We're Faith Lutheran and we are glad you're here.
And we welcome you back. It is now Hudson Stosher on the mound with the bases loaded and one out here in the bottom of the second as he takes over for Will Danberg, who could just get that one out in that second inning. So Hudson Stosher will try and work out of this jam and reset the eights going into the third inning. As he has thrown 4 innings so far, he's got 1 relief and 1 start in his 2 appearances. 0-1 as his record. 6 hits, 9 runs, all 9 of them been earned, 9 walks and 4 strikeouts. That ERA is inflated at 15.75, but a couple of good innings here that will really lower, and then it will be a whip at 3.75, and again, can really lower with just a couple of good innings. Batting average against at 353. Another time that it can really lower with a good outing here for Hudson Stosher. But he will deal with 3, 4, and 5. Bryson Esser with the bases loaded and 1 out here in the bottom of the second, and a 4-0 lead for Harrisburg. Esser drew a walk in his first trip. First pitch, that will get to the backstop, and a run will start to come in. Diving with sun and shine, and he's not going to win the race. And it will be a run scored to make it a 5-0 game with a wild pitch. So now it's second and third, and add a tally to the Harrisburg total. The second time that a wild pitch has brought in a run. A 5-0 lead. 1-0 pitch will be upstairs, and the count's 2-0 here to Esser. First pitch strike percentage for Stosher at just 44%. Wants to see that number increase as the 2-0 is over for a strike, and the count's 2-1. Corners are even with the bags. Middle of the infield is playing back, looking like they'll trade it out for a run. Here's the 2-1. That'll miss low, and the count's 3-1. Harrisburg, that's unique field where the infield grass is natural grass. The dirt is turf. The only green turf that they have as a 3-1 pitch is popped up. It'll be fouled and out of play, and the count's 3-2. The only green turf that they have outside of being right next to the dugouts is right in front of the mound and coming off the mound, but everything else is all natural grass, and then what you see would be dirt is turf all the way around the infield. 3-2 pitch. Line shot, and that's going to get into left center field for a base hit. 2 runs are going to come into scores, and it's going to go all the way out to the wall. Rounding first on his way to second will be Esser. He's going to stand up 2 RBI double, and a 7-0 lead here in the bottom of the second with 1 out for Harrisburg.
Griffin Slopko.
Here's Griffin Schlopko, the DH, who is also drawing a walk. So that will officially close the book on Will Danberg, and we'll give you his totals, who he just went an inning and a third. Here's a pop-up right side. J.J. Buckles will come over to make the catch. Coming for that first baseman position. Good play there by Buckles. Second time that he's made a pop-out catch near the second base side. Schuffelbein playing, not necessarily deep at second, but deep enough where Buckles with a good read is able to go over to make the catch. And there's now 2 down, and it brings up Tate Muntz, who had a 2 RBI single. Danberg throws just 50 pitches. 3 hits, 7 runs, 6 of them earned with 5 walks and a strikeout as the first pitch is over for strike 1. Post State, no game currently scheduled for Wednesday. They're supposed to play Sturgis again. That was a swing and a miss. The count's 0-2 here to Tate Muntz. Did not play on Tuesday at home, and they were supposed to go to Harrisburg on Wednesday, and they're not playing that game either. Sturgis said that they did not have them on the schedule, although a couple different places that had Pierre and Sturgis playing. That one will miss low, and the count's now 1-2. So currently, right now, the next scheduled game is against the Box Elder team that is last year was part of Legion Baseball, but this year is not part of Legion Baseball. They'll be coming up on Friday. 1-2 pitch, hard ground ball over to the second baseman. Schuffelbein will field. His throw to first will be in time and retire the side here in the bottom of the second. But another 3-run score in the inning on 2 hits. There were no errors and 1 man left on base. After 2 complete, it is Harrisburg by a touchdown, 7-0 over Pierre. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Has it been years since you've been to the dentist? Are you afraid to see a dentist? If so, you are among many people who feel this way. Hi, I am Dr. Michelle Hofer of Missouri River Dentistry. At our office, we pride ourselves as an office that uses a personal touch to offer gentle dentistry, tailored to fit each patient's needs. We do so by utilizing state-of-the-art equipment and methods which allow the patients to feel comfortable. So whether it has been many years or 6 months since your last dental visit, your oral health is important. We invite you to call us at Missouri River Dentistry, 223-2021, 223-2021.
Are you a farmer in the Highmore area? Do you need a trusted partner for your grain and agronomy needs? Look no further than AgTegra. AgTegra is built on a legacy of farmer-owned cooperatives, providing superior service and relentless innovation for generations. We're committed to your success and the safety of our employees and members. For your grain needs, call Chance Scott at 605-846-1099. And for all your agronomy needs, reach out to Cole Hamlin at 605-871-9572. AgTegra, growing together for generations.
We welcome you back as we are here at the top of the 3rd inning in a 7-0 lead for Harrisburg on the American Family Insurance Brittany Schuffelbein scoreboard. 9-1-2, Trevor Rounds, Carter Schuffelbein, and Sutton Sunshine. Rounds, last man to hit for the first time in this ball game between either team. As he comes in hitting .333, 5 hits so far in 15 at-bats, 4 singles, a triple, and 2 runs driven in. As the first pitch will miss for ball 1 here to open up the top of the 3rd. Here's the 1-0 to Rounds. That'll catch the knees, and the count's 1-1. It's a good job by Hudson Stosher coming in with the bases loaded and nobody out. One out, excuse me. He gave the wild pitch and the 2-run double, was able to settle in and get the next 2 guys in order to limit that damage. Ends up being 3 runs, and it's a 7-0 advantage for Harrisburg, but was able to get those guys retired in back-to-back opportunities as the 1-2 pitch will bounce in front of the turf, hits the grass, the count's now 2-2. The old 60-foot pitch that usually doesn't end up going well, and most pitchers end up looking back at their hand and trying to figure out what exactly happened. 2-2 pitch, that one is in the turf, Rounds swung at it and got a piece of it to stay alive. Just got enough of it. Keeps the count at 2-2. The 2-2 from Beek. That's outside. Full count, 3-2. Top of the order, due up next here for the Eights. (3-2) from Beek. Inside, just missing hitting Rounds and just missing the strike zone as well. And it turns into a leadoff walk. And the leadoff man is on base for the 3rd straight inning here for the Eights. Second walk issued by Beek. It was a leadoff single by Shufflebine, then a leadoff air by Twilliger in the second, and now a leadoff walk by Rounds here in the third. Down by 7, the Eights have to find something here. They've got to score a couple runs. First pitch to Shufflebine. That one's down the middle for strike one. He singled and stole second, then went to third on the one-out ground out. As Sunshine lined out to first, gets grounded out to move him over to third, and Simpson ground out and the inning. Runner takes off, ground ball right side. That's kicked off the foot and out towards right field. Rounds will have to stay at second. He was trying to figure out where the ball was at, and he almost started to go back to first base. Kept him over at second, and it's now first and second with nobody out. A hard hit ball by Shufflebine, but should be ruled in error by the first baseman Boucher. And it brings up Sunshine. It will be ruled in error. Second error by Harrisburg, and again, Pierre's got to take advantage of an error. They didn't in the second inning as the first pitch is over for strike one to Sunshine. He lined down to the first baseman Boucher in the top of the first inning, 0 for 1 so far. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Line shot, that's going to get into left center field for a base hit. Rounds will around third. He will try and score. The throw will be coming in. Shufflebine will dive in safely at third. See where that throw was about to start to happen. Shufflebine didn't break stride and finds his way over to third base. An RBI single for Sunshine, a 7-1 ball game. And now Dawson Getz with runners at the corners and nobody out here in the top of the third. For Sunshine, that is RBI number 8 on the season. Gets ground out to the second baseman, his first at bat. First and third, nobody out here in the top of the third. That pitch is over for strike one. Gets it a 3-run home run last year at the Dakota Classic. Was not against Harrisburg, but did hit it here at this field. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Runner takes off. Getz will fly that out towards right field. Into foul territory. Catch will be made by the right fielder. Shufflebine will tag. He will come in to score. As Muntz made the catch, Shufflebine stayed at third. He tags in and scores. So a productive out by the Eights. They get another run. An RBI sac fly from Dawson Getz, his 12th RBI, tying the team high with Ridge Leinbach. And there's one out and a runner on at first in a 7-2 ball game. First pitch to Charlie Simpson. That'll be on the outside corner for strike one. Simpson grounded out to the shortstop Kokenge to end the top of the first inning. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Snap throw back to first, and diving back in well without a play is Sunshine over at first base. As the count goes to 1-1 here to Simpson. Charlie Simpson hitting .378 coming into the ball game. 3 triples for Simpson. Pickoff attempt and back in safely is Sunshine. 6 runs driven in, 14 hits for the senior. 1-1. That one will be flown out of play on the right side. Counts 1-2 here to Simpson. Cooper Twilliger waiting on deck. First 3 reach base with a walk, an error, and a single. Sac fly RBI makes it a 7-2 ball game right now. Runner takes off, pitches high, the throw to second, and sliding, and Sunshine dove too early with the turf. He thought maybe he could start that slide a little bit earlier than I guess he really could. And he's thrown out trying to steal second, and there's now 2 down. And a 2-2 count here to Simpson. Pitch to Simpson, in on the hands, out towards left field, diving and making the catch is the left fielder Esser to end the inning.
Nice play by the left fielder.
Ball might have hung up a little bit in the wind, but Esser makes a fantastic catch to end the inning and send us to the bottom of the third. 2-run score on 1 hit, 1 error, and no one left on base. We head to the bottom of the third inning. Eights get 2 back, now down 7-2. Back in a minute here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
People helping people.
Have you ever wondered what the benefits are of becoming a Owyhee Federal Credit Union member? At Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we reinvest profits in you. We do this in the form of lower interest rates, higher dividends, and low to no fees. So come check us out or come in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre, because at Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we treat our members like they own the place because, well, they do.
Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
Most of us already know that Gales Gas of Pierre is the place to call for propane. They offer an automatic fill plan so you never have to worry about running out of propane. They accept debit and credit payments or a budget payment plan to spread out the cost throughout the year so you never have surprises when you get your bill. For delivery, convenience, and great customer service, call Gales Gas at 224-5518. That's Gales Gas at 224-5518.
As we welcome you back, it is 7-2 on the American Family Insurance Brady Shuffle by scoreboard. And it will be 6, 7, and 8. Case and Severson, Michael Oakland, and Kate Weedy. He might reach his base number 9-man Rylan Bohm. The Eights got those 2 runs back, one of them being unearned against Ethan Beek, as he has a lot of room for air to work in front of him. Still a 5-run advantage as we play here in the bottom of the third. Case and Severson lined out or popped down to the first baseman, J.J. Buckles, in his first at-bat. He's 0 for 1. See if Hudson Stosher can get a clean inning here for Post 8. First pitch, swing and a miss for strike 1. Getting ahead in the counts here for Stosher. And outside of Esser having the 2 RBI single, he's retired 2 of the 3 batters he's faced. The 3 runs that all came in when he came to pitch, all 3 of them were charged to Danberg, as he finished with 6 earned runs of the 7 given up. Here's a line shot. Getz will leap, and he can't make the catch. It will continue to roll all the way out towards the wall. Hunsley will cut it off a couple steps in front of the wall, and it turns into a leadoff double, nearly a line out that turns into a double for Severson. And it's now Michael Oakland with a runner in scoring position with nobody out here at the bottom of the 3rd inning. It nearly got the glove of Getz. Obviously did not, otherwise it would not have gone all the way out of the wall, but that was close to getting the glove of Getz, or at least knocking it down, as there's a swing and a miss by Oakland. He was well out in front of that first pitch from Stosher. It counts 0-1 here to the Harrisburg catcher. Stosher will dig back in. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That will miss low. And the count's 1-1 here to Michael Oakland. On second is Severson. Weedy is on deck. Oakland trying to bring him in. 1-1 pitch. It'll be upstairs, and the count's 2-1. Stosher peers in for the side. He'll come set from the stretch. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Oakland will fly this out towards center field. Hunsley going back out towards the wall, and it's going to hit the base of the wall. Rounding third, Severson will try and score. Getz will fire to the plate. It will be up the line. It'll be an RBI triple for Oakland. Severson had to wait for that ball to get down. Oakland was on his horse to begin with, and he ends up with an RBI triple to make it an 8-2 ball game. Another extra base hit for Harrisburg, and that's, again, not a surprise. It just continues to pile up for Harrisburg. A home run, a double, and now a double and a triple here. 4 extra base hits in 3 innings, and there's still nobody out here in the bottom of the third. First pitch will catch the outside part of the plate against Cade Weedy for strike 1. Raymond is running for Oakland, courtesy runner over at third. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That'll miss low, and the count's 1-1. With the way the heat is, I believe both managers for Post 8 and Harrisburg agreed upon having courtesy runners for catchers and pitchers if they are hitting in the batting order, as that one will be fouled out of play, and the count's 1-2. 8-2 lead. The 2 runs that Post 8 scored in the top of the third, and one's already gotten back for Harrisburg, and the other one's 90 feet away with nobody out. Here's the 1-2. It'll be upstairs. Counts 2 balls and 2 strikes. In Harrisburg this week, they've got a 10-run rule in 3 of the 4 games they've played. Nearly a back pick over a third. There was no throw from Sun and Shine as Raymond scampered back. He had fallen down and on his hands and knees was able to crawl back to third base. Count goes full now at 3 balls and 2 strikes. So there were 8 men in the batting order in Cade Weedy. 3-2 pitch. That one's line foul near where Raymond was staying. He spun away from it. Remains full at 3-2. Three-two pitch. Upstairs for ball 4. First 3 men have reached base here in the bottom of the third inning.
Walk for Weedy. Brings up second baseman, number 2.
And now here is Ryland Bowe. They won 3-2 against West, playing all 7 innings. They used 4 pitchers in that win, did Harrisburg. And then they won 11-1. Bowe threw 4 of those 5 innings. A 16-3 win against Aberdeen and a 15-5 win against Aberdeen. Harrisburg started out slow out of the gates. And, just like what Post 8 had, a real brutal loss to start the season. And lost 20-2 to Renner. And that was a shock to see that the score would be that way. Renner's still a good team, but shocked to see that score. But then you also look at the fact that, well, that's just one game, and the runner takes off. That pitch is high. The throw, it'll be all the way through. Getz could not hang on to the ball as the throw came in. Scheffelbein was going to cut it off if that runner and Raymond was going to go home. He let it go through. Getz had it for a moment, but it turns into a stolen base. I don't know if he would have held on to it. It looked like if he had held on to it, Weedy would have been out at second. Here's a fly ball to right field, backing up a couple steps. Simpson will make the catch. Runners will tag from second and third. The throw will come in, and it will be a sac fly RBI to make it a 9-2 lead. With now 1 out here in the bottom of the third inning. And Ryland Bowe gets his 4th RBI of the season. And Eli Kokenge to the plates. Again, he's always going to be dangerous. He's a home run and a walk so far. He's scored both times. I didn't mention that big win discrepancy in that loss to Renner just turns into one game. Post 8 lost 21-7 to Brookings. They were down 21-0 before they scored 7 runs in the bottom of the 5th to make that a 21-7 ball game. And now here's Pierre at 8-7, and Kokenge will sky this to left. That one's going to get out of here. That wind's easily going to take that out of here. It was going to leave the ballpark regardless, as he's got his 2nd home run of the ball game to make it now an 11-2 lead for Harrisburg. 5 home runs since Tuesday for Eli Kokenge. And now Noah Boucher to the plates. Four runs already here in the inning with just 1 out. 3 RBIs for Kokenge, an 11-2 lead with 1 out here in the bottom of the third. And while we still have to get through 5 innings, Harrisburg is starting to have the feel of trying to win a shortened ball game for the 4th straight win. Here's the 1-0 pitch now to Boucher, who has been hit by a pitch and walked. Boucher will launch this out to left field. If it's fair, it's gone, and it will stay fair for back-to-back home runs to make it a 12-2 ball game. Again, it's 3-10 down the line and left. That one probably doesn't get out at Hyde Stadium, but he hits it high enough and the wind carries it far enough. And it's back-to-back home runs. And a 12-2 lead now for Harrisburg. And Boucher also had 3 home runs this week. Now he's got his 4th. And there's 1 out And a 10-run lead here for Harrisburg. Third home run of the ball game for post 45. Bryson Esser, the left fielder, with a 2 RBI double. We'll have time called, and Sunshine will go talk with Hudson Stosher to try and settle him down. Hard enough to give up a home run at any level, going all the way to the professional leagues. But then when you give back-to-back home runs, Sunshine understanding a little bit of it and saying, hey, you got to take a breath. It's got to go get these next guys. Can't let this continue to turn into more base hits and more runs. And instead, it's going to be a fly ball to left field. It will be 3 home runs in a row. Esser hits one out of the ballpark. And it's now a 13-2 ball game. Back-to-back pitches.
15 hits and a home run. Brings up DH number 4, Griffin Schlapkohl.
And now here is Schlapkohl to the plate. 3 RBIs now for Esser. That was 3 straight pitches and 3 straight home runs for Harrisburg. First pitch will be high and outside for ball 1 to Griffin Schlapkohl. There's activity out in the left field bullpen, or right field bullpen for post 8. The 1-0 pitch, that'll be fouled off the mask of Sun and Shine. Count goes to now 1-1. 11-run lead here for Harrisburg, with 1 out here in the bottom of the third, 6-run inning. It'll bounce away, and the count's now 2-1. And he's still got another game to play, and obviously there's activity on the right field bullpen, but for Hudson Stosher, kind of you're going to have to work your way through this a little bit, because we got to try and save some arms to make sure we get through game number 2. And not that you're giving this game away by any means, but you see the score and you see where things are going. You have to find a way to work through it, as there's a walk issued from Stosher to Schlapkohl, and it now brings up Tate Muntz. He's the 9th man to come to the plate here in the bottom of this 3rd inning. Severson, who will be coming on deck, I believe. He led off with a double for Oakland, hit an RBI triple. First pitch, swing and a miss for strike 1. In the tree that's kind of hanging into the plate in foul territory down the right field side, makes it hard to tell who exactly is warming up for post 8. Here's a line shot into center field. Hunsley coming over. He'll make the catch as that hung up in the air. There's now 2 down here in the bottom of the 3rd. And I'll bring up Kason Severson.
Brings back. Also, second time sitting, number 11, Kason Severson.
So Severson, who led off with a double that was nearly caught by Dawson Getz, turned into a leadoff double, scored on the triple. Oakland almost had the home run. It hit the base of the wall. Here's the first pitch. That is catching the outside corner for strike 1. And obviously Oakland was scoring regardless by the end of this inning, with Kokenge, hitting a home run, and Boucher along with also Esser. This will be fouled out of play. But the way that left the bat when Oakland was at the plate seemed like that was going to get out of here. And the fact that he ended up still standing on third with a stand-up triple, he could have easily had just a walk-in double because he was watching it. Instead, he took off and finds his way at third, even though it hit the base of the wall. Swing and a miss. That'll be strike 3. As that will retire the side. Runner took off with the pitch, but Muntz strikes out and retires the side here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. But it will be 6 runs scoring with 3 different home runs on 3 straight pitches. There was 5 hits in total, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We head to the top of the 4th, 13-2 lead for Harrisburg. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping wants to make it easy for you to get that lush green lawn and that yard haven that you've been dreaming of. Visit dakotasprinkler.com to make appointments for sprinkler system spring startup, service calls, fall winterization, and landscaping quotes. Trust Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping's professionals to get you through the planning and installation to make your landscaping needs a reality. Visit dakotasprinkler.com today.
Hey you. Are you at a job that is fulfilling, has good benefits to support you or a family today, and retirement goes down the road? If you just said no, listen up. CHS River Plains is hiring operations personnel, drivers, and custom applicators at several locations. These come with a knockout affordable benefit package for you and the whole family. Apply to a job with CHS River Plains and up your benefits straight up. To apply, visit us online at chsriverplains.com or stop in at one of our locations. CHS is an equal opportunity employer.
As we welcome you back, 13-2, Harrisburg has an 11-run lead here in the top of the fourth. Cooper Twilliger lead things off, followed by Porter Hunsley and J.J. Buckles, 5, 6, and 7. First pitch is upstairs for ball one to Twilliger. Reach on the air to open up the top of the second. Post State has had the leadoff man on base in all 3 innings. There's a swing and a miss, and the count's now 1-1 here to Twilliger. But they've only scored just the 2 runs, but only one of those leadoff guys have actually scored. Leadoff single and a leadoff air in the first and second. Both were left stranded in scoring position. That will miss inside. The count's 2-1. Rounds led off the third with a walk, and he was scored on the sudden sun and shine RBI single. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. A little bit of off speed there. Breaking ball that was tailing away from Twilliger, and he couldn't hold up as the count is now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. That'll miss just outside. The count goes full at 3-2. Ethan Beek working into his 4th inning. Here's a 3-2. Twilliger will foul that one away over towards third base dugout. And Porter Hunsley, J.J. Buckles, the next 2 hitters here for the Eights. Here's the 3-2. Ground ball, that'll be fouled down the third base line again. Another full count pitch upcoming here for Twilliger. In for Pierre, they've got to find a way to score 1 or make that 2 runs at least right now over the next 2 half innings or 2 innings. 3-2 pitch. Ground ball up the middle. This will be Kokenge that will bobble. His throw to first will not be in time. There's no chance, even with a complete play from Kokenge, without bobbling the ball, he's going to get Twilliger. And a leadoff infield single. Gets the 4th time that the leadoff man has been on base here for Post State. Now Porter Hunsley, who drew a walk in that top of the second before he was retired in the 3-6-3 double play. First pitch will get to the backstop. It bounced pretty hard off the backstop, but Twilliger will take second without a throw. Oakland thought about it. Counts 1-0 here to Porter Hunsley. 1-0 pitch, check swing, then he fouls it out of play on the right side. Even the count of a ball and a strike here to Porter Hunsley. Again, J.J. Buckles, then Grayson Hunsley. It'll be Severson, Oakland, and Weedy. Excuse me, make that Oakland, Weedy, and Bow. That will come to the plates in the 4th inning as that one's over for a strike. Counts 1-2. Hunsley will pop this one up. This will be foul. And it will land on the net basically right in front of us. And that baseball will remain on your screen if you're watching on YouTube at KCCR Sports. It'll remain on the screen for the rest of your day. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and a strikeout for Beek. That's just his first strikeout of the ball game. And there's now 1 down to bring up J.J. Buckles. Buckles ground into the double play in the top of the second. He's 0 for 1. The Eights with 3 hits so far in 3+ innings. He'll foul the first pitch away, does Buckles, for strike 1. Regardless of how this game ends for Post State, obviously there's still some time left. But regardless of how this game ends, they've got to be able to reset into game 2. Counts 0-1. That'll miss low, and the count's 1-1. Beek will come set from the stretch. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That one's over for a strike, and the count's 1-2. Again, if you're watching on YouTube at KCCR Sports, you've been able to see throughout this entire game the netting that hangs over between in front of home plate out to the press box. As the 1-2 pitch is grounded to the left side, missing to Williger, getting through for a base hit. Williger will stop at third. Buckles gets his first hit of the ball game, second hit of the inning for the Eights, and his first and third here with 1 away. And brings up Grayson Hunsley. But the netting has been moving all over the place through this game, so that's one way to tell you how crazy this wind is and how strong this wind is. You've been able to hear it in the crowd mic multiple times. But then I mentioned the baseball that you're going to see. It almost bounced its way out of here because the wind was blowing so strong. It's popped up in the air a couple of times in that netting. Grayson Hunsley a chance to try and drive in a run here for the Eights. First pitch is high and outside for ball 1. Rounds, the number 9 man, is waiting on deck. Something through the infield can score to Williger. Will score to Williger. Swing and a miss. Hunsley was late on the fastball from Beek, and the count's 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. That's going to catch the outside part of the plate, and the count's now 1-2. Hunsley was looking over to Coach Iverson, and by the time the umpire had said strike 2, he had to turn back and gave a quick glance back at the home plate umpire. Here's the 1-2 pitch. This is popped up on the infield. This could be a tough play. It's going to move all the way over to the third base side, and the catch will be made by the third baseman, Weedy. And there's now 2 down, but that ball initially was on the right side of the mound. It was more of a first baseman ball for Boucher to come in to get, but that wind carried it all the way over, and the third baseman, Weedy, barely had to move to make the play. That had been any higher up or maybe just a little bit farther back, pickoff attempt, and diving back over at first is Buckles. But that had been a little bit farther back. That could have been a little bit more of a difficult play, because the second baseman and Bo probably would have called for it first and then had to just keep running after it unless Kokench called him off. First pitch is outside for ball 1 to Trevor Rounds. Trying to get a run in here, otherwise the Eights will for sure need at least 2 runs in that 5th inning. Here's the 1-0. That'll be upstairs, and the count's now 2-0. I believe it's Bridger Babcock that's warming up out in right field for Post State. Again, it's hard to see the number. 2-0 pitch. Here's a high chopper. Second baseman Bo will underhand flip it to second. That will retire the side, and the Eights fail to cash in off the leadoff single. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We head to the bottom of the 4th. 13-2 is our score. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Larry Fry Heating and Cooling has a new name. Kruger Climate Systems has acquired Larry Fry Heating and Cooling, but it's still the same great service. Your friend Larry Fry is still a manager, and his dedication to providing you with outstanding service remains unwavering. The same quality products and services you have come to expect from Larry Fry Heating and Cooling will continue under the new leadership of Kruger Climate Systems. You can still reach us at 605-224-9548 or email us at ryan@krugercontracting.com. Kruger Climate Systems, your certified Train and Mitsubishi dealer in Central South Dakota.
Step up to the plate with Kathy Sunshine Properties in Pierre, your go-to for buying, selling, and finding your perfect home. Whether you're looking for a cozy cottage or a spacious family home, Kathy Sunshine Properties has you covered. We're committed to helping you make your next big move, on the field or in your life. Ready to find your dream home? Call Kathy Sunshine Properties at 605-224-5588. Your home run in real estate.
So Bridger Babcock is tested to try and keep this a 13-2 ball game here in the bottom of the fourth inning to give the Eights an opportunity to score, needing just 2 runs in the fifth, as they'll deal with 7, 8, 9. Michael Oakland, Cade Weedy, and Rylan Bowe. And we'll get you the full stats on Hudson Stosher, who came in that bottom of the second inning. He finished with 1 2/3 innings pitched and 42 pitches thrown. He gave up 6 hits, 6 runs, all of them earned, with 2 walks and a strikeout. And so now Michael Oakland will lead things off here in the bottom of the fourth inning. He had an RBI triple in that third. It really started everything moving again for Harrisburg, as Babcock delivers the first pitch high and outside for ball 1. For Bridger Babcock, this will be his first appearance on the mound so far on the summer. 1-0 pitch. That'll miss low, and the count's now 2-0. A low pressure situation for him. It's 11-run ball game. Not trying to protect the lead. Really, even a 9-run ball game, there's a little bit more pressure than being down by 11. Here's a ground ball that is foul over to the third base dugout where Harrisburg is at, and the count's now 2-1. They're going to go out and throw strikes and try and get Harrisburg out. We mentioned at the beginning of the ball game too that a good hitting team against Harrisburg, for Harrisburg, got to keep everything down the zone. You got to keep everything low. Now the issue, the biggest issue of all of that is the fact that you keep everything low. Yeah, you might force some more ground balls, but the swings that Harrisburg takes are more of those uppercut type swings that are going to put the ball up in the air, and keeping the ball low might, again, tend to swing to pop it up. Now you might pop it up more higher in the infield, and it could carry out to the outfield, but the mistakes that have been had by Post State that allowed to home runs have been middle or middle up in the zone, or just up in the zone entirely, as this was fouled away by Oakland. It counts 3-2. Those home runs have been left up, and Harrisburg is already trying to swing to get doubles, and the launch angle that they're looking to go for is going to allow those balls to fly a lot farther and a lot faster with the way the wind is. 3-2 pitch is grounded foul again, and the count remains at 3-2 strikes. I mentioned the 1 home run by Boucher. 310 down the line and left and right. Ball probably is still a good double for Boucher, but it's probably not a home run at Hyde Stadium. This will be tapped in front of the plate, picked up by Bridger Babcock. The throw to first will be in time. Good play there from Babcock coming off the mound. Leadoff man retired. And we'll bring up now Cade Weedy. That was the first leadoff man retired in the ball game from either team. Leadoff man had been on base all 4 times for Post State and the 3 times for Harrisburg. The first time that we put 1 out on the scoreboard without putting a base runner up first. Here's the first pitch to Weedy. This will be skied up in the air. Scheffelbein will call for it behind the second base bag. That one didn't carry, that one, and the way the flag is flying, it wasn't going to move all the way over towards the third base side. And Scheffelbein makes the catch for the second out, and it brings up now Rylan Bowe. And we'll see if Bridger Babcock can try and get a 1-2-3 inning. Here's the first pitch. Here's a slow tapper. Hunsley will field at third base. He'll throw to first. It is a 1-2-3 inning for Bridger Babcock. And a clean bottom of the fourth. Good job there by Babcock to go through the fourth. We get to the top of the fifth. Post State needs at least 2 runs to stay alive here in game number 1. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. AGE Corporation has been building South Dakota for over 60 years. For all your site work, construction, and crane needs, AGE is there for you. If you need a boat dock and dock lighting, AGE has what you need. Visit their website, agecorp.com, or give them a call at 223-2732. AGE Corporation, providing high-quality services without sacrificing safety. Visit agecorp.com or call 223-2732.
As community bankers, BankWest employees are deeply committed to supporting local causes, growing the local economy, and creating local opportunities. At a time when you can bank anywhere, we hope you choose BankWest. We'll be your financial partner for the long haul, helping you and your community achieve financial success. BankWest. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
As we welcome you back, it is 13-2 in the top of the fifth. Post State down by 11 on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard. And the Eights need to find a way to score 2 runs in this top of the fifth inning to keep the ball game alive. Carter Shufflebine, Sutton Sunshine, and Dawson Getz will lead things off. Top of the order here for the Eights in the fifth inning. If you're just joining us, it was 4 runs in the first. Eli Koken hit a home run to lead off the bottom of the first inning. They scored 4 times, also with a 2-run RBI single from Tate Muntz. They got another 3 runs in the second, highlighted by a 2-run double by Bryson Esser. And then in that third inning, they scored 3 times with a 2-run homer by Kokenge, followed by the next pitch being a solo shot by Noah Boucher. And then Bryson Esser hit a home run, 3 pitches and 3 home runs for Harrisburg. On a very windy day here in Harrisburg that's blowing out towards left center field. That'll miss inside. The count's 2-0 here to Carter Shufflebine. The Eights' 2 runs came from an RBI single from Sutton Sunshine and a sac fly RBI from Dawson Getz in that top of the third, which made it 7-2 at that point. This will be outside. The count's 3-0. Bridger Babcock had a 1-2-3 inning, the only 1-2-3 inning of our ball game so far from either side. As Shufflebine ahead in the count 3-0, most likely taken all the way. 3-0 pitch. Down the middle for a strike. The count's 3-1. Yeah, the Eights need 2 runs in this inning to remain alive in this ball game. Just try and send it into the bottom of the fifth. That one will be taken for strike 2, and the count's now 3-2. Shufflebine was a third of the way to the first base side before the umpire called strike 2. Now here's the full count pitch. Line shot. Boucher will dive and make the catch over at the first base foul line.
Nice play by Boucher at first
And
base
there's
there.
one down. The
First
leadoff man retired here in the top of the fifth. First time the leadoff man has been retired in the ball game for Post State.
Sunshine.
Here's Sutton Sunshine, 1 for 2 with an RBI. He was thrown out trying to steal second. Ethan Beek looking for a complete game, but he, again, has to make sure that he does not allow 2 runs in this top of the fifth to end this in the top of the fifth inning. Here's the 1-0 pitch. This will be fouled out of play, and the count's now 1-1. And for Post State, again, if you don't get these 2 runs here in this inning, the reset button has to be hit and be ready to go for the second game. 1-1. That'll miss low, and the count's now 2-1. Might see Porter Hunsley, could see Carter Shufflebine. A couple different avenues for Post State to go in the second game of this doubleheader. 2-1 pitch. That'll be fouled, and the count's now 2-2. But the biggest key, whoever is on the mound, keeping the ball down in the zone. Can't let anything be waste to let her high. 2-2. That'll miss just outside. And the count's 3-2 here to Sun and Shine. No activity on the left field bullpen. Trying to get Beek to get through this fifth inning and win it 13-2. 3-2 pitch will miss for ball 4, and Sunshine will draw the walk, and there's a runner on at first here with one away.
Sunshine brings up number.
And it now brings up Dawson Getz. Getz has sac fly RBI, so he's just 0 for 1 so far in his third trip to the plate. Leading away from first is Sunshine. First pitch to Dawson Getz. That'll be on the outside edge for strike 1. The 0-1. Getz flies it out towards left field. Backing up the left fielder to make the catch. Esser puts it away for the second out, and there's now 2 down.
Second out caught there by left fielder Esser.
And now it's up to Charlie Simpson.
21, Charlie Simpson.
Along with Cooper Twilliger to try and drive in 2 runs. As the Eights are down to their final out here with 2 outs at the top of the 5th, down by 11. That pitch will miss outside for ball 1. And right now, Post State's next scheduled doubleheader, or next games, will be Friday against the Box Elder team. 1-0 pitch. That'll be fouled away, but they're not part of American Legion this year. And doesn't mean you can't play them, but the Eights have had their fair share of games just be taken off the schedule, and they've had nothing to do with it. 1-1 pitch. That'll be upstairs, and the count's 2-1. Supposed to go to Dickinson. They did go to Dickinson and play a doubleheader against the Rough Riders, but they were supposed to play Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in quite a big tournament where they probably would have played 5 to maybe 6 games. As the 2-1 is upstairs and the count's 3-1, it turned into then Friday and Saturday playing 4 games, 2 on each day, with just one other team besides Pierre and Dickinson, to only playing a doubleheader on Friday and then coming home. Here's a ground ball that'll be up the middle. Kokenge will dive, and he can't make the play. It's a single for Simpson. He's now 1 for 3 in the ball game, and it's first and seconds with 2 away, and it's Cooper Twilliger, who has been on base both times he's come to the plate. Reached on an error to lead off the second, and then had an infield single to lead off the 4th. We'll see if Twilliger can keep the ball game alive. Porter Hunsley is waiting on deck. Twilliger did have a home run back in the spring season. First pitch swing, and he fouls that one out of play on the right side. The job that Bridger Babcock did in the bottom of the 4th leads to him having a chance to pitch in the bottom of the 5th if we get there, and he can be as effective as he was in that first inning. Yates will have an opportunity to still try and make a comeback, but now it's an 0-2 count, and before they can get to that point, they've got to score 2 runs here in the top of the 5th inning. Beek will come set from the stretch. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That's a ground ball back up the middle. That's going to be through for a base hit. They will hold Sunshine over at third. The bases are now loaded here with 2 away, and it's Porter Hunsley with an opportunity to get a base hit to try and keep the Eights alive. Second hit now for Twilliger. He was 2 for 3, being on base all 3 times, and Porter Hunsley 0 for 1 with a walk. Simpson could score from second with a base hit. This will get to the backstop. That will score a run. Now Simpson will definitely score with a base hit because it's now a 13-3 ball game. A wild pitch scores a run. Second and third here with 2 away. Time will be called, and we'll have a mound visit as Beek trying to get this last out of the 5th inning. If both Hunsley and Buckles reach, regardless of how they reach, we know that we'd be playing to the bottom of the 5th. The run would score. But a base hit could put the Eights within 9. Keep the ball game alive to the bottom of the 5th inning. Ethan Beek has thrown 98 pitches now, so he is about done. And knowing that where he's at in pitch count, nobody warming up on the left field bullpen, would tell you that somebody from the field will be coming in to pitch. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. And the count's now 1-1 here to Hunsley. This will be pitch number 100 for Ethan Beek. One. That'll bounce. It'll almost get away from the catcher in Oakland. It got to his right, but where Simpson was at and trying to decipher on if that ball was far enough away, he took the precaution and tried to let Porter Hunsley or J.J. Buckles drive him in. 2-1. Fouled off the hands, and the count's now 2-2. And again, the Eights are down to their final strike here in the ball game. The 2-2 to Hunsley. Swing and a miss, and that will end the ball game. Hunsley strikes out swinging. A run scores on 2 hits in the inning. No errors and 2 men left on base. 13-3. Harrisburg wins game number 1 of our doubleheader. Back in 2 minutes to wrap up game 1. You're listening to Post State Baseball on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Are you a farmer in the Highmore area? Do you need a trusted partner for your grain and agronomy needs? Look no further than AgTegra. AgTegra is built on a legacy of farmer-owned cooperatives, providing superior service and relentless innovation for generations. We're committed to your success and the safety of our employees and members. For your grain needs, call Chance Scott at 605-846-1099. And for all your agronomy needs, reach out to Cole Hamlin at 605-871-9572. AgTegra. Growing together for generations.
Hello, I'm Pastor Jeff Lathrop of Pierre First United Methodist Church, and I'd like to invite you to join us in person for worship on Sunday mornings at 8:30 a.m. or 11 a.m. You can also join us on Facebook Live or on KCCR 1240 a.m. or 98.9 FM for our Sunday morning broadcast at 11 a.m. Come worship with us at First United Methodist Church, where you will find open hearts, open minds, and open doors.
When you're in town for the big game, why not stay where the view is just as great as the action? American and Fort Pierce sits right on the river, offering beautiful scenery, relaxing comfort, and easy access to the ballpark. After a day at the Diamond, there's nothing better than unwinding by the water, and the American always hits it out of the park. Stay by the river. Stay in comfort. Call 605-223-2358 to book your room today. American, where the river meets relaxation. Step up to the plate with Overhead Door Company of Pierre. Like your favorite team, we deliver reliability, strength, and top-notch performance. For over 100 years, Overhead Door has been the most respected name in the industry. From commercial or residential repairs to full upgrades, our team of technicians stand ready to provide winning results. Don't let a faulty garage door strike you out. Look for the signature red ribbon and call the industry MVP at 605-224-6200. Bring your garage door game to the big leagues.
Is your roof ready for the next South Dakota storm? Don't wait till it's too late. For over 25 years, Karsten Erickson Roofing and Construction has been serving Central South Dakota with quality roofing and construction. He has now added gutters. We offer dependable service, guaranteed workmanship, and no unnecessary flash or fuss. Just reliable protection for your home. Karsten Erickson Roofing and Construction. Experience you can trust. Call today, 605-280-8133. Karsten Erickson Roofing and Construction, serving Central South Dakota for over 25 years. Look, it's no secret that owning a vehicle can cause a lot of stress, and they get a lot of wear and tear on them through the extreme seasons we've grown to love. Graham Tire wants you to know that you can trust them with any problem that you have with your vehicle. Their ASE certified mechanics can make your AC cool again, or even just change your oil. They can look into and fix those noises that seem to come from nowhere and have you stressed out. Bring your car to Graham Tire so they can put your mind at ease. Graham Tire, your tire store next door.
Whenever there's a project that will make our community a better place to live, you're right there doing what you can to help. You volunteer because it's your nature to be helpful. All of us at First Fidelity Bank would like to thank you for all you do to make our community a better place to live. First Fidelity Bank, first-class banking on a first-name basis. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. Online at ffb-sd.com.
As we welcome you back, it is a final score in game number 1. Post State drops it 13-3 in 5 innings as it was off and running for Harrisburg in the bottom of the first. Eli Kokenge hit a solo shot to open up the ball game or open up the bottom of the first inning. Tate Muntz had a 2 RBI single to make it 3-0. It was ended up being 4-0 in total at the end of the first inning before another 3 runs scored on a 2 RBI double with Bryson Esser the second. 7-0 was the score after 2 innings, and then Sunshine had an RBI single scoring Trevor Rounds. Dawson Getz had a sac fly RBI to score Carter Shuffleby to make it 7-2. But the following half inning turned into a little bit more disaster. Michael Oakland had an RBI triple to make it a 8-2 ball game. And then it was 3 home runs. Eli Kokenge hit a 2-run shot, followed by the next pitch, a Noah Boucher home run. And then the next pitch after that, it ended up being a Bryson Esser home run, as Esser finished with 3 runs driven. And Kokenge had 3 RBIs. Muntz had 2 RBIs, and Oakland had an RBI as well, along with Ryland Bowe having an RBI. So 3 home runs on 3 pitches, scoring 4 runs, and Harrisburg ended up taking a 13-2 lead. The Eights did get a run, scored on a wild pitch in the 5th inning to make it 13-3, but with runners at second and third, the Eights could not cash in that top of the 5th inning and ended up striking out to finish out the ball game. As Will Danberg gave up 7 of the first runs, 6 of those were earned in inning and a third with 5 walks and a strikeout, only 3 hits allowed. But he threw 50 pitches. Hudson Stosher gave up 6 runs on 6 hits in an inning and 2/3 with 2 walks and a strikeout. Bridger Babcock got the final 3 outs in that 4th inning in a 1-2-3 inning that helped maybe the Eights try and find some positive and a little bit of any kind of momentum to go into game number 2, where the Eights are right now struggling and not necessarily struggling to try and come back in this game, but struggling overall, trying to make sure that they find a way to get a split, and how they were in the first 3 innings for Bridger Babcock to get a 1-2-3 in the 4th might be what they need to help them move into the game number 2. Ethan Beek got the win on the mound. He went all 5 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, 3 walks and 2 strikeouts, and 102 pitches for Ethan Beek as he goes the short distance, but does go the distance to get the win. And now Harrisburg will look for the doubleheader sweep coming up in game number 2. We're going to hear from News Director Zach Nelson. We'll have his weekend news coming up here in just a little bit. If you're watching on YouTube at KCCR Sports, we will end the video. We will come back with Game 2 video here shortly after, before we get started with our second game. But we'll have that second game coming up here in a separate video on YouTube at KCCR Sports. 13-3, our final score in Game 1. Harrisburg takes that first win over Pierre. We'll come back and hear from News Director Zach Nelson. His weekend news on the way. You're listening to Post State Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.